So the question here is to sketch the graph of this function. This is a piecewise defined function. What does that mean? That if you say number line, let's see the split numbers -2 and 2. So there is -2 and 2. Before -2, the function is defined as 3 plus x, okay? And from -2 to 2, the function is defined as x square, and from after 2, the function is defined as 6 minus x. So the function is defined differently into three ranges of your number line. Okay, so if you have to draw the graph, let's see, we need a grid. Okay, we need the grid, and we need to draw the graph differently before -2, differently from -2 to 2, and differently after 2. So let's talk about one at a time. Okay, let's talk about when x is less than -2. The function is 3 plus x. To draw the graph, you can draw like a table of values, right? The values have to be less than -2. Okay, so x value and function's value. If I put before -2, let's try -4. Okay, so -3 minus 4 is equal to -1. So that's the first point. When I put, say, -3 minus 3, that will be 0. I know -2 is not included because there is no equal sign here, but I would still like to know about it. So 3 -2 is 1. Okay, so we're going to plot all these points. So the first point is x is -4, somewhere here, -4, -3, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Those are the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. And y values here negative. I'm just labeling my grid a little. So what do we have? -4, -1. So for -4, y value is -1. Here is the first point. At -3, the point is y value is 0. At -2, the y value is 1, although that point really should not be included in the line. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw, this is a straight line because it's a linear function, but at -2 it's a hole, okay, because there is no equality here. Do you guys understand that? Okay, so there has to be a hole. That point really does not include in that line. Let's talk about the second portion from -2 to x from -2 to 2. The function is x square. Let's try to draw the table of values. X fx from -2 to 2, although the equality is here, so -2 is included. When I put -2 in here, -2 square is 4. Then let's try -1. If I put -1 in here, -1 square is 1. 0, 0, 1 square is 1. Although 2 is not included, I'm going to still put it so I know. 2 square is 4. Okay, so let's plot these points on your graph. -2, 4, so that's the point. -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. For 2 it is 4. Okay, so that looks like a looks like a parabola. We know x square is a parabola passing through these points, but pay attention, this point is not included. Okay, you can draw it with red so you see it clearly. This point is not included in your curve. Why? Because here at this point 2 is not included. X is strictly less than 2. Okay, now lastly, let's work on your last branch. When x is more than or equal to 2, f of x is equal to 6 minus x. So let's draw the table of those values. So we start from 2 and we put 2 in the function. 6 minus 2 is 4. When I put 3 in there, 6 minus 3 is 3. When I put 4 in there, 6 minus 4 is 2. Let's plot these points on the graph. At 2 it's 4, it's the same point. So that becomes a solid point now because it's the same point in the next graph. At 3 it's 3 and at 4 it's 2. So that's a straight line again because it's a linear function. So we're going to draw a line passing through these points, okay, straight line. So that is the graph, but pay attention, I made a hole it before, but I made it solid because 2, 4 is included and it's the same point as this graph, although here on that part of the branch it was not included, but on the total f of x that's included. Okay, so only hole here or a break here is at -2. Everywhere else the function is existing. So that is the graph. That final is your answer, is the graph of your function given by the piecewise defined function.